Welcome to the Piston Fanatic. I'm your host, Dave Dalton, and I'm excited to share my passion and perspective of our Detroit Pistons as we go on this fantastic voyage together. I've been a diehard Piston fan since the days of Dave Bing and Bob Lanier. I've also been the varsity basketball coach of a very successful program in Northern Michigan. I want to thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe. Our guys did it. They got their edge back. We knocked off the Knicks 115 to 106. We pounded them in the fourth quarter, 30-21. We outscored them. They only scored 44 points in the second half, but we were playing back with our edge that we had been lacking even in those previous games. But we are 3-1 against the Knicks. We won the last 3 games we played against them. So you don't know how much things are going to carry over, how much that's going to fire them up to play us. I don't know. They were playing tonight without Hart and without OG. And those are important players. Those are 2 of their most valuable players. And so that makes a big difference. But it doesn't make a difference about how our guys competed. And JB said that about, if it's about grit and toughness, I like our chances. That's what JB said tonight after the game. But our all-NBA player, Cade Parker-Cunningham, 16 for 24 he was. He shot 67% from the floor tonight. And he just took over the game, and he scored over 30 points in the last 5 games. So he's humming along the motorcade right when we need him to. But it was fun to watch that game tonight. I hope if you got to watch it, you had a blast. So interesting though, in the NBA, it kind of bothers me at the end of the games now. Like even if there's like a lot of time left, like even if the Pistons if one team's ahead and there's 30 seconds on the shot clock, they will dribble the clock out and then take a turnover and then let the other team have the ball back. Tonight, we got the ball and all of a sudden Cade got it. We're surprised there's like no time. Time is just about run out, but Duran's wide open into the basket. Cade lobs it up and Duran slams it. So that was fun, but I don't know how much that'll make them mad or anything, but we'll see. But yeah, Cade said he's looking forward to the playoffs, and he said this place is not like any place else. He said it's special playing in Detroit, and it's fun to play for Detroit and put on this jersey, he said after the game. So yeah, he's loving it. Ron Holland, man, 19 years old, fourth quarter, he scored 10 points in the fourth. And they asked Cade about him after the game, and Cade said he's going to be scary. He just flew down the court, took it right to the rim, finished tough shots. He finished tough shots by the rim, and he played more minutes than he usually does. But yeah, he had 13, but 10 in the fourth. So big factor in the game, us winning the game. We shut the Knicks down in the fourth quarter. There was like about 7 minutes left in the game, and we shut them down for like 5 minutes. They didn't score a bucket, so that was really cool. Really cool to see Stu. So Towns had a pretty good game. He was 10 for 19, but he was 2 for 7 when Stu guarded him, and he had 7 turnovers, and a lot of those were when Stu was guarding him. So here's Isaiah Stewart. You look at the box score, and he plays 22 minutes. He's 0 for 1. He gets 1 rebound, and he has 1 block and 2 turnovers. And you would think that's terrible, but he was a huge factor. Like I said, he fouled out. He fouled out in 22 minutes, but he was in Towns' head. Towns was freaking out there on the court, so that was entertaining. But yeah, we played him tough, but they're missing some players. Brunson, big body Brunson, he's amazing to me. He's not as good as Cade in my opinion, but he puts the ball in the basket. But tonight he didn't. So he was 5 for 15 and 3 for 9 on threes and 2 for 5 from the free throw line, and only had 15 points, and he only had 5 assists. So, but at his size, and he's not very tall, and he's not very quick and fast. He's not very explosive, but he can usually just put the ball in the basket. He's got all these moves. He's got great footwork. He can get in the lane, and he gives you a little shoulder, and then he can bump, and then he's great at flopping. He's really good at drawing fouls, and so it's going to be a challenge, and I'm sure he's going to have a lot of really good games, but we have like 9 days before we played. We don't play until the 19th. So I don't think the Bucks are beating the Pelicans tonight. So I don't think that we can beat them. We're 44 and 36, and they were 45 and 34. So I think they're going to be 46 and 34, and then so we can't. So even if we beat them both the last two games. And by the way, I will not be doing podcasts. My granddaughter has a tournament down in Indiana at the Pacer Center, and I'm excited to see that. But I won't be able to. I'll be driving down there Friday. It's a long drive, and I will be driving back on Sunday. So, but shout out to Kira. She made first team All State Division I. So that's the highest classification in Michigan, and she, had a remarkable year, setting the record for 100 threes in the season and shot 48% on threes. So anyway, we'll see what happens in the playoffs. And again, it's likely to be the Knicks. And, I just assume play the Knicks as the Pacers. A lot of people debate back and forth, but again, I don't think it matters, to debate it and to say, who would you rather play? Well, you don't get a choice. You try to win every game you can, and then whatever seeding you get at the end, that's what that's what you get. So, we are going to play the Knicks. I'm almost certain. So it's going to be. I'm confident that they are going to send people at Cade. That they're going to double him early. He's torched them every time we played him this year, and so they're going to try to take the ball out of his hands. I got to believe that Tibbs is going to do that to him, and we'll see how the rest of our team handles it. It's been a tough thing though. Teams are taking Beasley out of the game, and Beasley has been such a big part of our season and why we win. I mean, he always gets a stretch where he hits 3 or 4 threes in a row that just turns the game around for us, and teams are not letting him catch it. He was 0 for 3 on threes tonight. He only got 3 off, and then he didn't make any of them. So that's going to be interesting how that works out for us. Also, Asar. And before I talk about go through the box score, I wanted to talk about Ivy, Jaden Ivy. Big announcement today. We haven't been updated in a while, but Ivy has been cleared for basketball activity, which is a big step. And so, he's been running and jogging. First he was in a pool, and then he did some flat ground, just jogging, and then but basketball activity means he's really coming along, and he's got to do reconditioning, and the progression's got to just continue. And so he's got to keep progressing with his on-court work, and we're going to get an update in 2 weeks. So a lot of us didn't think that, why would you play him? Why when he's not been playing? But we'll see what happens. But I still see any way still that we can get him into the game before the second round of the playoffs. So obviously we're not going to be favored to win in the playoffs. We were favored by 3.5 points to win the game tonight, and we won by 9. So you never know what can happen. But I'm just thrilled that we got our mojo back and that we played hard. Asar played 21 minutes. He was 0 for 4. He's been on fire lately, and I get disappointed. It seems to me that some of our players, especially our veterans, they can be having a really bad game and they still get big minutes. And it seems like when Asar or Holland don't have, when they play a little bit below their standard, then they don't get many minutes. But he was 3 for 4 from the free throw line. That's only 3 points he scored on it all from the line. I'm sure he could easily bounce back next game. He did a good job on Brunson. He had 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks in only 21 minutes. Tobias, great game by Tobias. I'm surprised. I thought I was worried about Tobias. We need him. He's a big rebounder for us typically, not so much tonight, but he had that Achilles, and he came back and he played half a game, and they had to shut him down again. And so I thought they're just going to set him until playoffs start. I was pretty sure. And then here he comes back, but it's great that he played tonight, but he played really well. 28 minutes. Usually he plays in the 30s, but 5 for 9, 3 for 5 on threes, 4 for 4 from the free throw line. So that's the Tobias we need. He scored 17 points. He had 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. He had 4 turnovers, which is way too many for the number of times he handles the ball, but still he was a big factor in us winning. Duran got his minutes cut down, to 26 because Stu played 22. So that's how it goes. But 9 for 9, 13 rebounds in only 26 minutes. He had 5 offensive rebounds. He just fights and battles. And he's developed that little soft jump hook that he shoots from, just about 2 or 3 feet away from the basket. But he's sometimes playing against guys bigger than him, but he always can just put that up and over top of them. But he had 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and 18 points. Hardaway, really good game by Tim Hardaway, 27 minutes. And this is just like I said with Tobias, this is the kind of game exactly that we need. Sure, we can get a great game from him once in a while, like we got when Cade was out. He was on fire. But when he's not, we need this. He played 27 minutes. He was 4 for 7. Nothing great, crazy, but still solid. 2 for 4 on threes. Makes a difference. 4 rebounds, which he doesn't usually get, and 3 assists, which he doesn't usually get, and a steal. So that 10 points, great game. And again, that makes a difference in a swim. But again, Cade, 35 minutes. I thought maybe they were going to cut down his minutes. He was in foul trouble the whole game. And so he reached in a couple times early and then got an offensive foul. But that's something we got to be careful of, that we can't. He's got to be smart. So again, when you foul out a lot of times, you're going to get calls. And Cade plays tough. Cade plays aggressive. Cade doesn't back down. Cade tries to block shots. He tries to body up on got people on the perimeter. But you can't get the foul where you're just reaching, slapping, or going crazy trying to block a shot, especially after you're already have some foul trouble. You have to just play it smarter. But he was, again, 16 for 24, which is 67%. 2 for 5 on threes. He hit some big ones too. So but he's 2 for 4 on free throws, which, you shoot that well from the floor, that well on threes, and then you miss 2 free throws when you're close to a 90% shooter. But he had 2 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and he had 4 turnovers, which is not bad for the type of game he played. 36 points. So Beasley, 27 minutes, 4 for 8. So they're just running him off the line. They're saying, we will not let you shoot a 3. We will let you drive to the basket, and we will run you off the line. And that's what they've been doing. They've been playing him really tough, denying him the ball, off the ball. They're really grabbing him and making life really hard for him. He was 0 for 3 on threes, like I said earlier, and 2 for 3 from the free throw line. 2 rebounds, 0 assists, and 10 points. So for us to win, he has to have a little bit better game than that. And I already went over his 2 stats. Shooter. So this is the guy this guy's hard for me to watch. I'm not hard for me to watch, but he is so scrappy. He knocked and poked the ball away, and he even dove and knocked the ball down to the other end of the court and knocked it out of bounds. Well, it was the Knicks ball, but they had 0.8 seconds left on the clock, and they had to go the length of the court. So he scraps. He gets those loose balls, like I always talked about, but it is a concern. He was 3 for 9 shooting and 0 for 2. He doesn't even want to shoot, really, I don't think. He drives in. He got blocked a couple times, but he's 2 for 3 on free throws, so he's not even shooting that good. 3 rebounds, only 1 assist. He plays 27 minutes. He only has 1 assist, and we need that secondary ball handler. So what I'm saying is he had a bad game on the box score. 3 for 9 and 0 for 2 and 2 for 3 and only 2 rebounds and 1 assist. That's not a good game. But you watch the game and you know that he does better than that. So I'm going to be talking more about that and about next year in a later podcast. But he had 8 points. Again, Holland, 22 minutes. So he played more than usual. Usually he only gets like 15. But he was 6 for 11, 1 for 2 on threes. He shot it with confidence both times. 5 rebounds, 13 points. So I said 10 in the last quarter. So a huge part of our game. We shot 57%. They shot 47%. They didn't shoot good from 3. So we shot only 36, but they only shot 32% from 3. So rebounding was about even, and turnovers were about even. So anyway, it was a good win. Now we got the Bucks Friday and the Bucks Sunday. Both of those games, Friday game is going to be on NBA TV. So they're flexing these games to put the Pistons on TV. They weren't scheduled to be on TV, but because we're good and we're fun to watch, we're getting more exposure. And so Sunday's game is at 1 o'clock, and it will be on ESPN. And I will be probably driving home, 7-hour drive. But anyway, thank you very much for listening. I hope you had fun if you watched the game. Hope you have fun listening to this podcast. Please tell if you have a friend that's a Piston fan, or they want to just jump on board on the train for this ride we're going to go on, tell them about my podcast and be the reason that somebody feels listened and heard. And go Pistons.